Hello everybody, thank you so much for coming back to my channel. My name is Riley, you may know me as Honey Rags, and I am a full-time reseller. I resell on Etsy, Poshmark, and eBay. Most of my income comes from reselling thrifted used clothing. However, I do sell anything and everything, including vintage and sometimes Amazon returns and stuff like that. Oh, I don't know how to say this. Okay, I wanted to make a cuter announcement, but I already announced it over on Instagram because I want you guys to know why I'm not as active or as responsive. We are moving. So I don't want to go into detail, but I will update you guys on our progress. So this might be my last haul video for a couple of weeks, but I don't know. I could be wrong. You guys know me. I'm not going to stop sourcing or thrifting, listing. I'm not going to stop any of that stuff. Obviously, I have to, reselling sleeps for no one, and I have to keep the income coming. So, I know some of you guys are going to be curious. We are upgrading. This house is just closing in on us. Our kids are growing. My business is growing. So very thankful for that. And honestly, we just need more space. We do have a warehouse area, so I'll try to give you guys a tour once everything's said and done, but I also, I don't want to give out too much too soon, if that makes sense. So for those of you guys who follow my personal life, that is what is going on with Riley. Okay, so I was gonna say I'm gonna skip the intro, but you guys already got an intro from me. I'm gonna show you guys the men's clothing first. Oh, and I have a little SpongeBob band-aid and probably paint on my hands because we're doing some last minute touch-ups, so just ignore it. I just have a couple of men's things, and then we're gonna do the women's stuff. This was all clothing from the past week or so. So this is a vintage, I'm guessing this is 1990s Logo 7 Detroit Tigers top, and it is single stitch, which I don't really, it's jersey, so I don't know if jerseys are still single stitched or not. But either way, I think I'll be able to get about $30 to $40 out of this. It has the little Detroit Tigers patch. This I actually found at the bins. So this is a vintage, it's not single stitch, but it's 1999 Black Sabbath, which this was a reunion tour, I believe, in 1999. Yeah, reunion tour, it says right there. So I don't know how much I'll be able to get out of this. It obviously doesn't have an original album name on it, so it's, lesser in value than if it were not a reunion tour. This is my first time finding this brand. It's a good brand to pick up. I've never heard of it until I found it. J.L. Powell. So what made me want to look this up was it says made in Scotland. And there's just a handful of countries where it says, well, I should say you should look up every brand that you don't know, but I'm not gonna lie, I do not do that. Sometimes I'm in such a hurry, or there's so much stuff to look at, I don't have the time to do that. So I will look at key factors. This is just, it feels nice and heavy, and it says made in Scotland, so I was like, gotta check this one out. The comps for J.L. Powell are all over the place. However, it seems like their sweaters, their heavier garments do well. I think I'll be able to get about $50 out of this, give or take. This is Columbia PFG. So I've told you guys about Columbia PFG, which is performance fishing gear. Columbia PFG sells well for me, depending on the piece. Of course, I don't pick it up all the time. This is PHG, performance hunting gear. So I looked up the comps on this, and they're pretty good. It has a pheasant pattern, which might be a more sought after pattern. I'm not totally sure. I think I'll be able to get about 25 out of this, which isn't bad considering it's just a used Columbia top. This is my first time finding this. It's also a men's brand, True Measure. So this is 100% linen, and it was just, I just found this out. It's True Measure by J.L. Powell. I swear to you guys, I had no idea that was, before the video, I had no idea. I know it's right by the tag, but okay. So I just Googled the comps, or I just looked up the comps on eBay when I was sourcing for it, obviously, and it has a good resell rate. That's so funny. It's made by J.L. Powell. This must have been from the same wardrobe. So yeah, I didn't know that. I don't think it really changes the price though. I was probably going to list that around 25 because it's 100% linen. This is a North Face men's. So I don't always pick up North Face. I find it almost every single time I go to the thrift shop. It depends on the piece and the price. My thrift shops usually mark up North Face because they are very popular garments in West Michigan. However, this one was only $3.99, which is the standard sweater pricing, so I picked it up. I also want to cut in to say, you guys, I've been painting and we've been packing for a few days now. I was trying to think of like the exact amount. I have no idea. So I made this video because I'm like, I was just about to list some of these items kind of on the side, and I'm like, oh, I really want to include these in a video. So I know I'm going at like a slower pace than usual. Usually I put in my commentary and a lot of you guys hate it, but a lot of you guys love it. I'm not doing that much commentary today. This is a vintage, here you guys can see the tag. It's single stitch. I don't know what this is, like early 90s. My grandma had one just like this when I was growing up. I don't know what happened to it. Anyway, it's like a pastel Arizona looking coyote top. Unfortunately, when I found this, there was a huge hole at the bottom, and it was like a really discolored hole. Like, it looks like it was almost like maybe a cigarette burn because it was like brown around the edges. So I'm like, I'm not going to repair this. I'm just going to crop it. So I cropped the top. I think I'm still going to be able to get about 25 out of it though because of the colors. This is my first time finding this brand. I don't know if I'm saying that's right. B-A-C-I, Bassi. I think it's an Italian brand. I think this is made in Italy. So I found this at the bins, and honestly, it's really lightweight. Like, it just felt like a normal, it didn't feel like anything special. I just realized there's a little stain on it. I did wash this, which is why it's all crinkled up, so I have to steam it. It looked better when I found it, but I washed my stuff, everything that comes from the bins, because I'm weird about that. So it looks all crinkled right now, but it's actually really pretty. It's just, it's lightweight. And when I looked up the comps on this brand, they were pretty good. So I'm like, I don't want to say it's poor quality. It's just not what I was expecting. When I looked up the comps, I was like, okay, so it's a good brand. This was also a bins find. This is I don't know what I'm going to list this for. I'm thinking like $35 for this light jacket. This is a Marmot, which is a really popular outdoorsy brand. I think it was made for like people who go skiing or something, kind of like how Burton was, you know, Burton is geared towards people who snowboard. I feel like Marmot is like people who ski, but I could be wrong. So when I found this at the bins, it was the whole front was discolored. It was like, it looked like somebody just like went on a slipping slide with dog shit. It was like insane. But while I was at the bins, I was kind of looking at it and I'm like, this looks like it wasn't dog shit, don't worry guys. But I was looking at the stain and I'm like, this looks like it would lift right out. So I took my chances. I brought it home. I probably only paid like $1.50 for it because it's light. And I put stain remover on it and I let it sit for like 30 minutes and then I put it in the washer and dryer. And it looks great. Like, you can't, there's no discoloration at all anymore. So I think I'll be able to sell this for about $25. I love finding these Urban Renewal, which I think this is Urban Outfitters. So it says made out of vintage fabric. So it's like all about recycling. I sold one Urban Renewal piece for $38, I believe. This one's more of a simple piece. I think I'll be able to get about 25 out of this. So yeah, I think what they do is the whole point of Urban Renewal is fighting, I don't want to say fast fashion, because if it's from Urban Outfitters, then they're kind of like the epitome of fast fashion, but you guys get what I mean. It is good that they are remaking these clothes out of vintage fabric, you know, giving the fabrics a new life. This is a Soft Surroundings. So this is an older label, Soft Surroundings, but I really like this. It's like a tunic sweater dress, cardigan, yeah, slash. It's 1X, which is a good size. I like finding bigger sizes because I feel like every time I go to the thrift shop and I find like a good haul that came from the same closet, it's like always in small, and it's obnoxious because I get to that point where it's like, okay, I have enough small things listed, like let's get to the other sizes. And I don't know why that is. I think I'm gonna list this around probably like $25, even though it is an older label, because it's in great condition. This one's really awesome. It's a Peruvian Connection, like grandpa knit cardigan sweater. It looks vintage, but I have no idea. I know I think Peruvian Connection has been around long enough for them to have vintage pieces, but I could be wrong. Regardless, Peruvian Connection sells very well for me. I think I'll be able to get about $30 to $40 out of this. This is a Vineyard Vines zip up, quarter zip, I should say. These never fail me, so I list them around $24, and I usually don't sell them at $24, I'm not gonna lie, but I'll usually have, they collect a good amount of likes, and then I send out an offer for like 21 or 20, and usually people accept the offer. So that's my little, I have a little strategy with my Vineyard Vines half zips. This is really cool. This is a vintage fleece with a really awesome in-your-face Southwestern pattern. I used to pick up vintage fleeces like this all of the time. They used to make some crazy patterns back in the day. I feel like in the 90s. But it was one of those things where I was like, I was sitting on a lot of them, so I was like, I gotta stop. I gotta be really picky with these. But obviously this one made the cut. I think I'm gonna list this one around $30. This one is a Patagonia I think this is Capilene. I'm wrong. It's not a Capilene. So Patagonia, oh, it is Capilene. Oh, yes, I know it. Okay, this is Capilene, which I feel like is a, I don't want to say I feel like, it's a more sought after underlayer from Patagonia. I have no idea why. I haven't done enough research. But I always pick up Patagonia base layers, and especially Capilene. Like, I'll pay up a couple dollars for a Capilene. I think people actually search that when they're looking for base layers from Patagonia. So it sells better for me. I think I'll be able to sell this around $22 to $24 because it's a nice color, and you can tell it, like the label, the stick-on label on the back is not faded at all. And usually when I pick up Patagonia Capilenes, these are like faded out, so you can tell they were worn and washed multiple times. This is my first time finding this Sundown. So I looked up Sundown clothing comps on eBay, and like nothing came up. Like a bunch, like random, like literal VHS tapes came up on my search. So I'm like, but there is something about this, and I'm like, it just feels, I know it just looks like an old tie-dye sweater or long sleeve, but it just feels really nice, and I really liked the label, I'm not gonna lie. So I was like, I just feel like there's more to this than old VHS tapes and like some random brand that nothing's ever sold on eBay before. So I looked up Sundown clothing, and I found their actual website, and they're a branch of something else. Like, they have a mother brand, and I forgot what it was. I cannot think of it. But it's also 95% modal, which is like, you know, that's cool. So I ended up finding the clothing, and the clothing isn't cheap. I mean, it's not super expensive, but it's not cheap. So I'm like, I'm going to try it on Poshmark and see what I can get. Ooh, this is my first time finding these. These were from the bins. Girls from Savoy. I'm going to show you guys this tag because it's definitely a unique tag because it has the silhouette, kind of like a cameo. So I found I'll just show you guys both at the same time. I found these two dresses at the bins, and I knew I don't think I'd actually heard of the brand, I'm not gonna lie, but I knew they were Anthropologie when I looked at the RN. So then I looked up the comps, and the comps on this brand, Girls from Savoy, are really, really good. So obviously I think this piece I'll list for a little bit more than the red one because this one's plain compared to this, but I'm thinking I can get maybe 45 out of this and like 35 out of this one, but we'll see. You guys know I always estimate with my comps. Okay, so these ones are cool too, and I have three of these. So Sherry B Green. Sherry B Green. So it says remade in America. So if I see anything that's like says recycled or remade or like made from vintage fabrics like Urban Renewal, I almost always pick it up because that's rightfully so. It's very trendy right now to have remade clothing, repurposed clothing. Everybody's about like, most people are trying their best to do what they can for the environment, if not at least trying a little bit. So stuff like this really sticks out to a certain group of people. I looked up the comps on Sherry B Green on eBay. It was actually kind of hard to find any solds. But I had confidence in these, like I said, because they're remade in America, and the cool part is they're new tags. So it says Sherry B Green, and then it has everything written down on it. What the content, clothing content, oh Lord, whoo, getting ahead of myself, what the fabric content is, and Sherry B Green. So anyway, how cute. So I looked up, I wanted to see what this was all about. So even though I couldn't find comps, I Googled it, and it's actually a person named Sherry B Green. I don't know, but for some reason when I see like a name, if it's not designer, I feel like it's just like a made up name. Like that's what I have in my head. So when I found out Sherry B Green was like a real person, I was like, I love you. How cool. So anyway, yeah, her stuff is totally reasonable. $53 for something that she had to freaking sit there and make by hand. Like, are you kidding me? That's great. But anyway, I do feel like this is one of those things that will just, a certain group of people will be looking for. I may have to sit on them. This is the other Sherry B green piece. So I got 3 pieces, and 2 of them were brand new with tags. So obviously the tag price was $53. I don't think I'm going to get that much from them. I think I'll list this probably around like $25, and the used one maybe around like $20. But we'll see. I want to do a little bit more research if I can. So see how many people have heard of that, because I'd never heard of that before. This is my first time finding this. This was on my BOLO list. Prairie Underground. So I don't want to be I don't want to be that person that complains about finding something on their BOLO list. But like, I've been wanting to find this brand forever, and I find it, and it's just a navy hoodie. I'm like, yay. Honestly though, it is nice. It's nice and thick. I do not know the comps enough to tell you guys what I'm going to list this for, but if you find Prairie Underground, I would definitely pick it up. This is really cool. I don't know if this is a brand or not. It's Made from the Earth, Wear in Peace, handmade in Nepal. You guys like my Band-Aid? I'm so trashy. I just threw a SpongeBob Band-Aid on before I took the video. I don't have a boo-boo. My cuticle curled back, and if I keep getting it wet and bumping it, it's gonna start hurting. So yeah, I'm gonna tell you guys all about the life of my cuticle. I'm gonna start a blog just on my cuticle. Okay, so anyway, I picked this up because it's like very cool Renaissance looking, and I honestly feel like this is meant to be worn in costume, but I would wear this like with a pair of blue jeans, baby. Like, I don't care. But I'm saying, like, I think this was made to be a costume, but I could be wrong. Either way, if this is not an actual brand, I think it'll sell, because look at it. Very gothic, Renaissance look to it. This is a Sparrow chunky color block striped sweater. Probably gonna list it around $20. This is a Bowden. I think this is 100% linen, size 14 mini. No, I think this is just like a tunic. I was gonna say mini dress, but I think it's a tunic. Like I've said in my previous video. Sorry, I know not all of you are regulars. I need to watch what I say, because I know anyway. How do you like my cuticle? Anyway, I've said in previous videos quite a bit, I usually don't pick up Bowden pieces unless they're a pattern, but I'll pick up like their sweaters and stuff. But if I find like a plain Bowden shirt, if it's just striped, I usually leave it behind. But I always pick up Bowden patterns. So I think I'm going to list this one around $24 because it's linen. I found this new label Kabi sweater. So why did I pick this up? Let's see. Well, it's actually not a sweater. It's a sweater poncho. It has little armholes right here. Let's see. I know there's something special about this one. Yes, it has wool and mohair. That's it. Ah, okay. There she is. There she is. Yeah, so it's acrylic, nylon, wool, and mohair. I've also said this in my previous videos. Anything that has even a sprinkle of mohair, I will pick up, because people will search specifically for mohair. It doesn't matter the brand. If it has mohair in it, I pick it up, and I usually don't have a problem moving it. This is only like 14% mohair, but it's got mohair in it. Mohair is a very sought after fabric, and I feel like it's hard to work with. So usually when I find things that have mohair in them, it's under like 30%. I just feel like that maybe because it's a harder fabric to work with. I'm not totally sure. This is an older label Eileen Fisher top. When I picked this up, so it says made of Italian fabric, but when I picked this up, I was like, oh yeah, this is 100% linen for sure, no doubt. I'm totally wrong. It's 51% cotton and 49% bamboo. Bamboo, how cool is that? So I feel like this is going to be another one of those fabrics that like I'll put in the title, like bamboo blend, and someone's going to be like, I need that. Because that's cool. If this fit me, I'd probably keep it for myself, and I'm not a big fan of plain white pieces. I'm too messy. This is also my first time finding this brand. This is called okay, Marilice. Oh, maybe I'll skip this one. Marilice. Oh, okay, I know what it says now. Marilice Fairy. All right. Right? Marilice Fairy. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. But this feels, it's a really interesting, it feels like a mix of felt and fleece. And I don't want to say it's a bad thing. It's just an interesting, it has an interesting feel to it. So this was one of those brands where I was like, I hadn't heard of it before. And I'm like, you know, it feels quality enough to do a quick comp search. And it's from Scarborough, Maine. Scarborough, Maine. And for whatever reason, I know like LL Bean is from Maine, but like clothing from Maine, there's like people who follow brands that come from Maine. I can't explain this phenomenon. Kind of like things that are, well, it used to be like things that came from Los Angeles were really sought after, but now like a ton of clothing companies are like based in Los Angeles, so it's, you know, it's not as special. But Maine, like, come on. Come on. Anyway, this, I'll probably list this for around $30. This is I think this is what it was, NAU. I know it doesn't really look like an A. So this is a jacket, and this is another brand I never even heard of. But I'm looking at this, and I'm like, huh. It has really nice stitching. It's really, it just reminds me of Burton. So I looked up the brand NAU, and it sells very well. I think I'll be able to get like $35 or $40 out of this. I wish I could tell you guys more about the brand, but I just look up the first few comps because I'm always in a hurry. This is my first time finding this. Du Perdue. Am I saying that right? Anyway, I think this is 100% silk outer. Let's see. Yes, so it's 100% silk outer. I think this is their older label, but this is a Bolo brand, Du Perdue. And honestly, you can't really tell it's that dated. It's, I mean, you can't go wrong with a nice long blazer jacket. So I don't know what I'm going to list that for yet either. I don't know enough about the brand, even though it's a brand that was on my Bolo list. I don't know enough about it to tell you what I want to list it for. This is a boring one. This is just an athletic cardigan, but I always pick up these athletic you guys know what an Athleta label looks like. I'm trying to unfold it, but I always pick up Athleta long cardigans. They always sell for me. The cardigan dusters sell for like, I don't remember the name of them, but they sell for like 40 bucks. They're sought after. This one's obviously not a duster, so I think I'm probably going to list it around 25. And here's my other, here she is. This is my other Sherry B. Green piece. So it kind of reminds me of like Matilda Jane. Like, obviously it's a little, you know, it's a little bit different, but it does remind me of Matilda Jane a little bit. So this one is also new with tags. This one, I don't really know why I picked this up. I'm not gonna lie. It's a Hannah Anderson sweater. It's just like a cable knit thick sweater. Hannah Anderson does sell well for me, but usually I try not to pick up her plain pieces, and here I am picking up a plain piece. I'll probably just list it at like 20 bucks and see what happens. This is a Sundance, so it looks like it was like acid washed, but like manufactured this way. A Sundance thermal. So Sundance sells well for me in general, but their thermals, their base layers, I should say, sell really well for me. And I like this one because it has lace on it, little nice lace accent. I'll probably list this one around 22. This one's really cool. I found an Escada blazer, and it's I think it's wool. So when I found this is an older label, obviously. When I found this, it was in the dresses, and the tag said $5.99, but it said 2-piece set. So I'm missing a skirt, so I just scoured the store for the skirt, or possibly the pants, because I wasn't sure. Couldn't find them, so it made me sick. But honestly, if I had to choose between finding the pants or the top, I would obviously, like, if I would have found a pair of Escada pants and the tag said 2-piece set, I don't think I'd leave the store until I found the set. Like, I'd have to camp there overnight because it would bother me. So I'm glad I found the top, even though I couldn't find the matching bottoms. I don't know what I'm going to list that for yet either. This is an Anthropologie brand, ETT Twa, ETT-TWA. That's the tag. I don't know much about the brand, but I like finding Anthropologie brands that I have never found before. So I'll probably list this one around $20. And this is my first time finding, I don't know if I'm saying it right, but Mammut. I think the T is silent, but I could be wrong. M-A-M-M-U-T. This reminds me of all things of Marmot, the brand. I think this is like a Canadian-based outdoorsy brand. Oh, no, it's not. It's made in India. Okay, so I'm wrong. And it has a little woolly mammoth thingy on it. And it has a little woolly mammoth thing over here too. I looked up the brand comps real quick because even though I've heard of the brand, I didn't really know how good the comps were. And the comps were great. So even though it's a plain piece, I think I'll be able to get like 20 bucks out of it. This is a Splendid top or sweater. I try not to pick up Splendid anymore. You can find it at Nordstrom Rack for like $10 new if you're lucky and find it at the right time of year. But this is was there something special? Yeah, so this has wool and mohair. Remember when I said mohair? This has 5% mohair. It's like they made the sweater and then someone took like a little tiny teaspoon of mohair and went because 5%. But believe it or not, even though it's only 5% mohair, you can almost, if you're familiar with mohair, I have like a weird reseller obsession with mohair, you guys. I'm sorry. I'm going to go off about mohair like I did with my cuticle. Like you can feel even 5% mohair. You can feel it when you touch the garment. It's really hard for me to explain. I can't wear mohair. It makes me itch, but some people love it. I don't know what I'm going to list this for yet. Probably like 25, 26, because it's, like I said, 5% mohair. Not the best ratio. This is a Cull, a woman's Cull base layer thermal. Probably just going to list this for 20 bucks. Nothing too special. This is Habitat Clothes to Live In. So I don't know why this is. I find it quite a bit near me. Habitat Clothes to Live In. I don't pick up all the pieces, but I like this one because it has like the ribbed fabric and then it has these cute little buttons. So this reminds me of Soft Surroundings. Or not Soft Surroundings, I'm sorry. This reminds me of Neon Buddha. So Neon Buddha and Habitat Clothes to Live In kind of have the same look, the same customer base. Probably going to list that one around 20. I do not have a problem selling this brand either. So this is also my first time finding this. Kathleen Weir West. Kathleen, maybe it's Wire. Kathleen Weir West. So look at this, guys. Look how cool the front is. Because it doesn't do it justice until I button the front. Very cool. So and it's crooked. I did the wrong one. Anyway, I could tell when I picked this up it was high quality just by feeling it. So I looked up the comps on this brand and they're great. I think I can get probably like 40 bucks out of this piece. So as you guys can see, like this is definitely, you know, a good haul for me. A lot of times when I do have to rewatch my hauls to edit them, I realize like how much of my clothing is actually bread and butter brands between like $18 and $25 that I sell. But this haul, I have a few pieces that are, you know, past 30. If it's higher than 30, it's not really bread and butter brand to me anymore. It's, you know. Okay, this is really cool too. This is a Sacred Threads jacket. Sacred Threads. This brand has a really big following. Their newer pieces are just not as nice. I'm gonna say it. Should I say in my opinion so that the company doesn't come after me? No, that doesn't happen. I can say my opinions on this channel, can't I? Their newer pieces just feel very mass produced. They remind me of like, I don't dare I say Forever 21. I don't know how to explain it. I still pick them up and it's still, people will still buy them, but their newer pieces just, they don't do the brand justice because their old pieces, very nice, very heavy, very sacred. So I think I'm going to list this piece around $45. I only have 2 more things to show you guys. This is a men's Marmot jacket. So I actually paid up for this one. I paid $7.99 for it, but it's color block and it's in great condition. And I think it's a newer piece. So honestly, I think I can list it for like 30 bucks. So definitely room for profit there. Then this last piece I also paid up for. Paid $7.99 for it because it's new with tags. So Matilda Jane, you know, I do pick it up sometimes, but it doesn't always sell. Their Mommy and Me collection does sell pretty well for me. If I can find the style name. However, this is a jumpsuit. So jumpsuits, I don't know if they're losing trend right now, but honestly, like there's people that are always going to like jumpsuits. And like I said, it's new with tags. So I'll probably list it. I don't know how much this would have cost new. I don't know that much about Matilda Jane. I'm guessing I'll be able to get around 30 to maybe 35, but we'll see. With free shipping, of course. So that was my haul. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys have made it this far, like I said, I'm still going to be active. I'm still going to be listing. I'm still going to be posting all the time, but it may be a couple of weeks until I can do another video. We will see. Sometimes I just get a bug up my butt and I want to do a video of myself rambling or, you know, whatever. We'll see. I'll try to keep you guys updated on the progress for those of you who are interested in me as a person. Okay. I don't feel bad if you're not interested in me as a person, but I do have some people who I know are going to be, you know, intuitive about the move. I will try to update you guys on the progress of my move. So, like I said, I really want to do like a warehouse tour. I'm excited about that. If you guys have made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I'm going to leave a link down below in my description to my Instagram, which is honey.rags. Also going to leave a link down below in the description to my website, honeyragsco.com, and from there you guys can shop my reseller themed merchandise. It's really cool if you guys haven't seen it yet. And go ahead and give this video a like, thumbs up, whatever. I hate to be that person, but it really does help with the algorithm. So thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, happy thrifting, and happy selling.